All right, here we are back with another episode of our PCF Basics course. This time we're going to be covering deployment. Charles, how you doing today?
Fantastic, Garrett.
Good, glad to hear it. All right, so let's just jump right in. We've got a couple different ways to deploy a component once we've built it. So we've built our Hello World component in the last handful of videos. If you haven't watched those, go ahead and give them a view. Yeah, I guess starting off, do we want to do pack push, Charles? You think?
Yeah, that's probably the right place to start.
Okay.
Maybe a little overview, right? What we're trying to do here, again, for what Garrett is saying, is we're trying to get this up into an environment, right? We tested it locally.
Mm-hmm.
We can put up some text, we can put some smiley faces on the screen. Well, let's put it up into an app.
Yeah, sounds good. All right, so I guess the first thing we want to do is we want to check and see if we are authorized to actually put things in an environment. Is that right?
Yeah, yeah. Well,
Yeah.
in Pack, we have this concept of authentication profiles,
Mm-hmm.
and we're going to check to make sure that we've got an authentication profile set up, and if not, we'll create it.
So we want to do pack auth list to start off.
Yeah, yeah,
All right, sure thing. So we'll go ahead and check. And I know behind the scenes that I actually am already in an organization, so we'll just kind of start there.
yeah.
But if
Great.
you're not, you would do pack auth create. Is that right?
That's right. And
Yeah.
as we said in the first video, everything in Pack supports help. So
Hmm.
if you're going to create this auth profile and you don't remember, oh, what are the params that go into this?
Yeah.
Pack auth create help, and here you go.
Quite a few
Here are all the
params on this
parameters
one.
you'd use.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we won't walk you all through that. It's actually pretty self-explanatory. They do a good job with their terminal tooling there. So
Yeah.
we are already logged into an environment through the pack terminal. So I guess just we'll want to do pack PCF push. Is that right?
Yeah. Yeah. That's
All
the
right.
easiest and fastest way to do this.
Yeah, actually, I am in my to-do solution. Do I want to do it that way, or do I want to change my solution?
Oh no, you can do it from right here. Yep.
Okay, sounds good. So just pack PCF push, nothing more.
Yep. Nothing more.
All right.
Oh well. Yeah. Sorry.
Actually, yeah, that's okay. We'll cut this out. Here, I'll Control C and stop it. Um, okay. So start again. So pack PCF push. Does anything else need to go in with that, Charles?
No, that'll be it.
All right. Pack PCF push. Whoop. All right. And then we're already connected to an environment, connected to a solution, right? So we can just go right ahead.
That's right.
Okay. All right. So it's looking for our connection. There we go. It's going to go ahead and drop that into our solution. So we'll jump over into our environment here. Actually, we'll have to switch environments. So while we're doing that, um,
Yeah. So what's going on here while that console is running is the command pack PCF push just tells pack to bundle up the PCF that's there as a solution file, connect to the system where Garrett's authentication profile is already set,
mhm.
import that solution file using some test publisher and prefix, and then publish all changes. And you can see it's actually doing all that for us. It automates everything away, so you don't need to go through the manual steps of all that. It's just all taken care of.
Yeah, it makes it super easy. So, and then here we are. We've actually got our custom control. So you can see sample namespace Hello World Demo PCF. So there we are, right where we need to be. It's currently publishing all customizations, but once that's done, it should be done momentarily.
Yeah, well,
Um,
while that's publishing, let's talk about a little
sure.
dependency here. We're
Yeah.
going to add this PCF into a Canvas app. Before you add any PCFs into a Canvas app in any given environment, you need to make sure that you've gone to the admin center to enable that. So
Yeah, good point.
Garrett's got the admin center up here on the screen over there. You go to your environment. This is the to-do environment. You'll just open up settings,
Hmm.
then product
Wonderful. Okay.
and features. Maybe you scroll down just a little bit. It'll be on the right-hand side. You'll see a section. Bop, bop, bop. There it is. Power Apps Component Framework for Canvas apps. So it's turned on already in this environment. But if you have an issue deploying a PCF into your Canvas app, you would come here to make sure that that setting is turned on.
All right. Cool. Good stuff. Um, so now that we've already done that, do we want to jump into the Canvas app here?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Sounds good. Cool. So,
So,
go ahead.
so the first thing we're going to do is just add the component to the app.
Yeah. So, do we do that out of the plus here?
That's right. Up at the top, above the popular, there's a little small symbol underneath search. Yeah, there it is, which is get new component.
All right.
This will look for other components that are in your environment, right? Code components or Canvas components. And it'll include the custom one that we've deployed.
Yeah. Sure enough, here we are. The Hello World demo PCF. And let's go ahead and import that.
All right.
Cool.
So
All
now
right.
there's a new section in your browser that's the code components, and you can add the component to the screen from here.
Yeah. All right. And sure enough, there it is. Hello World.
Hey, all
World
right.
says
It's pretty
hello back.
good.
And yeah. Let's
So now
do
let's look
that.
at its
Go towards the
properties,
center. Yeah. So, whoop,
which
I
is
didn't mean to
now
jump.
up in the top right. Next to the play button, there's a properties
Yeah,
show button
properties.
there.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then, sure enough, we've got display text and number of smileys, which if you watched our previous video, you should remember
Mm-hmm.
those pretty well. So display text, let's go ahead and change it. I'll just say, hello, Charles.
All right. And how many smileys should we have?
I say, let's not go crazy, but let's add a couple. So maybe we'll go for 6 this time. All
All
right.
right.
Cool.
And there we
Okay.
go.
There we go. Sure enough. All right, great.
Okay, so that's the most simple, straightforward way of deploying your PCF into an environment as fast as possible. So this is going to be your dev go-to as you're iterating through a PCF and you have to update it 20, 30, 40 times, right? And
Yeah.
keep testing and testing. Pack PCF push is always going to be your go-to.
Hmm.
But there's some issues with pack PCF push that you need to be aware of, right? Number one, that's a debug build. It's always going to be a debug build. So if you want your bundle to be a release bundle that's a little bit more streamlined, a little bit more efficient, then this is not going to be the way to go. Number
Hmm.
two, the publisher is just a default from the environment, and the prefix is a default from the environment. I think the prefix is a dev underscore, and the publisher
Yeah,
is power apps or something. You're
that's
not going
right.
to use those in the real world. So let's talk about how you would actually build it if you're ready to actually release to an environment
Yeah.
and put it into your solution and have it go up your environment chain. So let's come back over to Visual Studio Code, and we're gonna actually build a solution manually this time. We're gonna do
Okay.
all of that for them.
All right. So what do we got to do here?
First thing we're gonna do is we're gonna make a directory for it. It doesn't matter where this directory goes. You just don't want it to be in the same location. You don't want to build your solution in the same location where you're building your app. You want to have a
Hmm.
different directory. So make a directory, and we'll call it something. Whatever we call this directory is what the end zip file is going to be called. So let's call it, hello world solution.
All right. And nothing else there?
Well, that'll do just fine. And then we'll
All right.
navigate into that directory.
Okay. Okay.
All right. And now we will init a project. So it'll be pack solution init. We'll give it a couple of parameters in there. We'll give it a publisher name. So dash PN or dash dash publisher name, which, single dash if you're going to do PN, if you're going to do short ones. Yeah.
Right, right. Okay.
Call it, hello world.
You're getting a lot of mileage out of that. Okay. What
And then we'll
else?
give it a prefix. dash
Okay.
pp. I don't know.
HW.
All right, that works for me.
All right.
And that's all we need to do to knit the solution.
Okay. So we'll go ahead and get that started.
And this is going to build a CDS proj file for everybody that's while this is running that'll allow us to install some NuGet packages that all work to automate the process of building that zip.
Mm-hmm.
So now we've got a solution, but it's empty. There's nothing in it. It has no idea what it's looking at. What's it supposed to build? We've got to
Yeah.
tell it what to build. So let's
Okay.
do pack solution add reference.
All right.
And then the param we give this is path, dash dash path. And
Okay.
we'll just tell it, look one directory up, dot dot slash.
Sounds good to me. All right. Send that. Okay.
All right,
Project reference like successfully added. Oh my gosh.
cool.
Stumbled
All
over
right,
those
so
words.
now we're going to use NuGet to
All
install
right.
all the dependencies that were built out by the PCF dev team.
Okay.
So .NET MS build /t restore.
/t colon restore. All right.
Yeah.
And it's
And
restored.
now we'll build the file.
Okay. So
.NET MS
.NET
build /p release
build
debug. We'll do a debug build
-p.
just because that's simple.
And it's just
But you can
debug.
also do a release build this way.
Yep. So just like that.
Release equals debug.
Okay. Great.
That'll do. Okay. So recapping the difference between what we're doing and what we did, right? Pack PCF push did all of this for us, right? It automated everything. So it's
Awesome.
obviously
Yeah.
your rapid iteration choice. But this allows us to manually set that publisher name and the prefix and all that.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, so now let's take a look. We'll do change directories down into bin debug. We'll take a look what's in here. All right, there we go. There's our zip file ready to go. So if we were doing this by hand, now we have a zip file. We would grab it, import it, publish all customizations, and that would accomplish the same thing that you've already seen on the screen.
All right. Wonderful. Cool.
Yeah,
Anything
that's pretty
else?
much deployment in a nutshell, I'd say.
All right. Well, great. Sounds good to me. Okay. Anything else we want to cover today, or we let these people go?
I think we can let folks go. We can,
All
talk
right.
maybe in a later session about, how the same configuration looks on a model-driven app, but the deployment is identical.
Sounds good. Okay. Well, thanks everybody for watching, and guess we'll catch you in the next one. All
All
right.
right. Thanks, Garrett.
Yep. Thank you, Charles. All right. Talk to you later. Bye.
Yep, bye.